Okay. All right. So today we are going to talk about how yoga helps in regulating our nervous system. We all must have heard that, it helps in regulating the nervous system. But it's like, it's about physical stretching. We are doing exercises, but and how does it actually help in regulating my nervous system? This is something, that we always have these questions around it. Let's understand a little bit about it. So first of all, what is our nervous system? Nervous system consists of brain, spinal cord. It's little technical. Let's just be with me for some time and then it will get little interesting. Okay. So the signal comes from our brain. It goes to our spinal cord, to our nerves, and it goes to our body. Blinking of an eye, finger raising, everything, all movements, it is because of this movement from brain to spinal cord to nervous system. How does yoga help? In each one of them, we're not going to dive into it. We are only going to focus on our brain, because today we are going to talk about especially about our part, which is something we always want to understand a little bit more. So what happens in the brain? Like I said, a little bit technical. So in the brain, whenever anything comes, any stress comes, or any signal which comes from outside, there are certain enzymes which are released. And especially, we are going to talk about the stress enzymes. Okay, whenever the stress situation comes, it goes to our gland called the adrenal glands, from where the cortisol is released. Now, what does cortisol does? Okay, cortisol, the main function of cortisol is to regulate our blood glucose level. So whenever the stress comes, it releases more glucose. Okay, so our bloodstream, it gets more glucose. The cortisol levels, are they bad? They are not bad. Okay, cortisol levels are not bad. Because they help in regulating the glucose levels, so they are good. But what happens if the cortisol levels are higher? Okay, because the continuous stress, and this is where we're going to focus more today, about our stress levels. Okay, that when the more, because we have gone through the situation which was totally unexpected by each one of us. We were not ready for that. The stress levels, they have at a certain level, it has put a footprint on our system, and we are still struggling to come out of it. So we're going to talk a little bit about stress. So when the stress comes, cortisol levels, they increase. Okay, so when the levels increase, then it is released, so more glucose is released. So as the more if and then it's supposed to go down. It's supposed to drop, and at night when we sleep, it is supposed to be very, very low. So our cortisol levels, it has this rhythm. Okay, let's remember about this rhythm. When we wake up, they are high, then it goes then it goes here when we wake up. Okay, and then it comes down, and when by the time we sleep, it is supposed to be very, very low. Okay, so if they go wrong, all these things can happen. Anxiety, poor sleep, hormonal imbalance, all these things can happen. Now, how does yoga help in that? Okay, what does yoga come into picture? In yoga, we do breathing. Okay, breathing is the most important thing. Whenever we practice yoga, we always say, focus on your breathing, focus on your breathing, focus on your breathing. Why do we say that? Because breathing, it passes through our vagus nerve, brain system, and brainstem, and it regulates this axis, which is the control of the enzymes. Okay, it keeps it in control. How does it keep in control? Let us dive a little bit deeper into it. Okay, so it helps in regulating our cortisol. How does it help? Okay, because it activates the neural activation. It balances our hormone. And my favorite part, it helps in retraining our cortisol. When the stressful situation comes, Okay, the cortisol levels, they are habituated to increase, they are habituated to shoot up. But what if, whenever but you must have seen, okay, that when we see a cockroach in a room, each one of us would react in a different way. Somebody would scream, somebody would be like, ah, somebody would be like, something is there, we want to just get rid of it, like that, right? So how each one of us, we all are human beings, but we are behaving in a different way. Why is it so? Because our brain is trained in that way. We have passed through certain levels and we have retrained our brain, we have retrained our cortisol levels. And that is why in every stressful situation, each one of us, we react in a different way. So yoga, it helps in regulating our, in retraining, it actually changes how we react when in our stressful situation, by regulating the, by training the cortisol that if this comes, this is how you have to work. Okay, now how does that happen? Okay, uh, that would happen because when we are holding the asana, like I'm stretching, I'm going upside down, I'm stretching my arms. And that is a very different situation. Whenever you have practiced yoga, you must have faced that situation. I mean, I'm not able to lift my arm. How do I keep my chest out? I go down, I bend my knee. So many things I have to do together. So it's a stressful situation. It's a different stress, but it is a stressful situation. But how are we handling it differently? We're handling it differently because we are breathing with that. So in the stressful situation, we are breathing along with holding the asana. So our brain is trained that whenever the cortisol is trained, when the stress comes, yes, your function is to rise, but at the same time, we will not stop, we will not take our focus away from breathing. And as the breathing happens, automatically everything you can see for yourself, right? When you have to even do a presentation, right, in our forum, or you have an important meeting or an important call, a blood rate, your heart rate increases. Some nervousness is always there. We, or each one of us, we have. Okay, is that right, or I'm just talking about myself? Yeah. So it's there, but the thing is, how do we handle it? So the holding in asanas, it helps us because we do it along with breathing. The next slide. Just yeah. So why yoga versus the, the gym exercises? This I've taken to give a perspective that how yoga works differently. So when we work out in gym, our cortisol levels, they rise, yes, but then the sympathetic and the parasympathetic nervous system, to balance it, it is not there because we are not doing it along with the breathing time. Okay, so we have to be and that is why yoga works in a better way. See, it is supreme. Okay, you want to buy it today or later, it is up to you. It is supreme, it is supreme. So, so now is the question that when to start yoga? Is it right time for me? Should I practice it when I'm a little bit older, or when I have actually some issue? I'm not able to go to the gym, I'm not able to run, I'm not able to do the weight training, and that is the time I start doing it. Do no. If you have stress levels, if you have sleeping issues, you gain weight, but then at the same time, you're not able to lose it very, very fast. Why do you get cravings? You get cravings. Even that is the reason that you should start practicing yoga, because it will help you in controlling your cravings as well. Then lack of attention span. The Instagram reel we go through, it is little longer. We can't pay attention, just little bit. We just want 5 seconds, 10 seconds, and scroll. We need to practice yoga. So it is so What is the best time to start practicing? What is the best time to practice yoga? Morning, yes, it is. It is the best time, but there is. But if it entirely depends on your schedule, if you are very busy and if you have high stress levels, evening is also a very good time to practice yoga because it helps your brain. It trains your brain to calm down. So let's begin the journey of yoga. Just one movement, one pose, and moment of presence. Thank you so much.